Alright, so I'm making this video because in the stream last night that I started for the Notre Dame Miami game that I ended early because of my throat hurting, I am delivering what I said I would do, and that is making a video about everything that has happened in college football this over the last technically 2 weeks, even though it's only been really 1 week because week 0 is a thing. It's I'm just gonna say throughout the last 1 week of college football season, even though some teams have already played 2 games. So there's a lot to talk about with not enough time. So let's hop right into this. All right, so we're just going to be on ESPN and look over some of the results and just talk about the games, at least some of the ones that I was able to catch the highlights to or watch live. So got to scroll all the way back up. So tonight we got TCU and North Carolina. That game I will be watching, but I won't be calling. The reason I'm going to be watching this, even though it's not really two main teams that I would want to go out of my way to watch. I'd want to watch this game, and I am going to watch this game because of North Carolina. Now, you can see I'm wearing a Michigan State shirt, and I have Michigan State stuff behind me. I don't like North Carolina, mainly for basketball, because we're Michigan State, North Carolina, not really North Carolina, but kind of rivals, I guess. But the main reason why I want to watch this game is because of them, because of Bill Belichick. It's his first college football game that he'll be coaching, so it'll be interesting to see how they do. But yeah, so the reason I say technically week 1 because August 23rd was 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. So yeah, and it says August 23rd through September 1st was week 1, but no, it's because Iowa State beat Kansas State 24-21. That was a good game to watch. Then UNLV and Idaho State. What on earth went on with UNLV? I didn't get to watch that game, but from what I can see, UNLV looked like they struggled for a while against Idaho State, who's, by the way, they're an FCS school. So, yeah. Kansas and Fresno State. I did not see Kansas winning that one. Honestly, I thought Fresno State was going to win that. Western Kentucky and Sam Houston. I think we all saw this one coming. Only not as many points being scored by Sam Houston as they did, but nonetheless, we got the result that happened is what most people thought which was a Western Kentucky blowout win. And then this game I am stunned at because I had no faith in Hawaii winning this one, even though they were at home against Stanford. There is no way this actually happened. I didn't even get to watch this game, but just by looking at the box score and all the stats here, it just looks like Hawaii just played better, I guess. Again, I didn't get to watch this. I didn't get to watch this one either, but good Lord, Florida, or South Florida. Props to you. Boise State, on the other hand, what on earth happened? 34-7? I get you don't have Ashton Genty, which is probably a big reason why you probably got blown out, but still. All right, Rutgers and Ohio. Rutgers is going to be in for a rough year probably, just based on the fact that they only beat Ohio at home by 3. Bowling Green and Lafayette, I mean, I didn't think Lafayette would win this. I didn't get to watch this either. NC State, East Carolina, not much to say there. Looks like it was a pretty good game. Hold up. Is that Caton Hauser? You were at Michigan State a few years ago. You were at Michigan State before we had Aiden Childs. I know that. That's why I recognize the name. That's the only reason I recognize that name. Anyways, it looks like it was a good game. Close game. Jacksonville State and UCF. Close game. Didn't really get to see much of it. Delaware and Delaware State. Could care less about that. Delaware gets their first win at the FBS level, but not against an FBS team. UL Monroe and St. Francis, FBS team against an FCS school. Not much else I would expect. Wyoming and Akron. Wyoming, the fact that even though you shut them out, but the fact that you only won by 10, that's concerning because Akron is not that good. I get you're on the road, but still, Akron has 5 fans. in attendance on average. Missouri beat the living daylights out of Central Arkansas. Rest in peace, Central Arkansas. That's just utter domination, 61-6. Duke and Elon. Duke, I guess, is relevant at football still, putting up 45 points. And they've been relevant the past 2 years, which is cool to see, because normally when you think of Duke, and when a lot of people think of Duke, you think basketball, not football. But now I kind of start to think football, too, during this time of year. Like, when you're talking about, like, Duke, it's like, you want to talk about, like, usually it was like, are you trying to talk to me about Duke football or Duke basketball? 90% of the time it would be Duke basketball. Now, now there's reason to talk about Duke football. They've actually been pretty good the past few years. Oklahoma State and UT Martin. Oklahoma State. Hopefully they can actually have a good year, because last year was really disappointing for them. Not the season they were hoping for last year. Hopefully they can turn around. I kind of hope they do. Minnesota and Buffalo. Minnesota, I thought they would have scored. I thought they would have won by a bit more, but nonetheless, still 13-point victory. Not terrible at all. So good overall performance by Minnesota. 290 yards for Drake Lindsey through the air. Or Drake Lindsey. Hopefully he can actually do good in the Big Ten. Houston and Stephen F. Austin, not much to talk about there. Just what you would probably expect from Houston at home against, I'm pretty sure, an FCS school. Yeah, they're not in FBS. They're not in college football. 26. UAB, not much else. Not too much to talk about there, other than the fact that why on earth was it only a 10-point victory against an FBS school or FCS school at home? 52-42, fireworks galore. That's the kind of game I like, is points. I like watching games like that in any sport. Nebraska and Cincinnati. I can't stand Nebraska's quarterback just because of how much he wants to be like Mahomes, which is kind of annoying. So I try and stay away from watching Nebraska football. Wisconsin and Miami, Ohio. Wisconsin, hopefully they can get a little. Hopefully their offense can find their footing for their next game, because for what Wisconsin is capable of year in and year out, both on offense and defense, this is a bit underwhelming. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on Wisconsin throughout the year, even as a Gophers fan as well. San Diego State and Stony Brook, what a lot of us expected. All right, moving on to Friday's slate of games. Illinois just blew up Western Illinois. Like, it was so bad to the point, like, ESPN's not even giving any game notes or anything. That's when you know it's bad. This game, what the heck, Army? You let Tarleton State, an FCS school, beat you at home in double overtime. Props to Tarleton State for pulling off the crazy upset. There's more upsets this week that happened than just this one. We'll get more into those later. But then, yeah, that was crazy. Which brings, I mean, I didn't get to watch that game, obviously, because I was calling this game right here, Western Michigan at Michigan State. First half, amazing for Michigan State. Second half, defense for Michigan State, great. Offense, what happened? Like, Aiden Childs looked like he had never played football in the second half before. So, yeah. What? Snooze fest alert. I would have expected Wake Forest to win, but not by a singular point, and only scoring 10. Okay. App State and Charlotte, about what I expected. App State is a lot better than Charlotte. I never really hear much about Charlotte football anyways. I don't hear too much about App State football usually, but they are a team that can make some noise in some pretty shocking ways. I don't remember what year it was, but they upset Michigan at the Big House one year. I can't remember what year that was. But that was crazy. Kansas and Wagner, what you would expect. Wagner, an FCS school, Kansas, an FBS school. Need I say more? Auburn, Baylor, that was also a good game. That also was going on. That also started shortly after the Michigan State game did, so didn't get to watch that. And I didn't even watch the end of it because after the Michigan State game was done, I went to bed because I was really tired. Georgia Tech, Colorado, that game looked like it was good. I didn't get to see any of that, but looks like Caden Salter Is it Caden Salter? Yeah, Caden Salter. Looks like Caden Salter had a good game, though. 17 for 28, 159 yards, and a touchdown for Colorado. But not enough to take down Georgia Tech. FIU and Bethune Cookman, there is not much to talk about there other than the fact that they rushed for 6 touchdowns. Good Lord. Okay. UNLV and Sam Houston. The fact that you... Okay. You're 2-0, I'll give you that, but for the 2 opponents you've played, your point differential is concerning in terms of how close your points for and points against are. Central Michigan and San Jose State, I don't give 2 craps about that game. Now we get into Saturday's games. Arch Manning and Texas. This game I didn't get to watch, but I'm mad I didn't. I'm mad I wasn't able to because this was a good game. Ohio State, the defending champs, shut down Arch Manning and Texas until the 4th quarter, which is when they got their only touchdown. Penn State and Nevada, what we expected. LSU, though, this game I watched from start to finish. This game was amazing. Probably game of the week, honestly. LSU, for the first time since 2019, wins a season opener. And they do it against number 4 ranked Clemson on the road at Clemson's Death Valley, which is really good, which was really fun to watch. Marshall and Georgia, I don't think there's much to be said. Georgia did what Georgia does. Same with Oregon. They did what Oregon does. This game here, Alabama, please explain what the flip happened. 31-17, Florida State. I get you were on the road. I get you had a brand new quarterback starting for you. I get you don't have Nick Saban. You didn't have him last year, though. But the fact that you let Florida State put 31 on you when I don't think they scored more than 21 points in a game last year is insane. That unranked Florida State, by the way, knocking off number 8 Alabama. Probably the biggest shock of the week. Arizona State and Northern Arizona, Sam Levitt, okay, the fact that he was your leading rusher is kind of concerning, but then again, you don't have Cam Scatterbo anymore, so I don't even know who your running back is after that. But 2 touchdowns for Sam Levitt on the ground and through the air. Nice. This game, I'm not happy about the result. It's what I expected. It's just I didn't want it to happen. I was really hoping New Mexico would have shocked us all. But holy jeez, I did not see Bryce Underwood's stat line. 21 for 31 and 251 yards. Jeez. He did have a touchdown, too. Through the air. Nice. Florida, what on... I mean, it's what we thought would happen. It's Florida. Do they have DJ... What happened to DJ Lagway? They still have him. Or is he at a different school? I have no idea. He might be at a different school. SMU and East Texas A&M. What we all thought by a ranked team against an FCS school. Kansas State, what is going on? North Dakota is an FCS school. I get they're a good FCS school. Doesn't mean they should be keeping it a 3-point game against the 17th ranked team in the country. Anyways, Illinois State and Oklahoma. Oklahoma took care of business like we all thought. Texas A&M and UTSA. Texas A&M doing Texas A&M stuff at Kyle Field. Indiana and Old Dominion. Why is this game so close? And I get it's 27-14. It's still, I think, a 3-score game. But for Indiana being at home against Old frickin' Dominion, it should have been a bit larger of a victory for Indiana. But a 3-score win's a 3-score win. Ole Miss and Georgia State. Good Lord, Ole Miss. FBS, both are FBS. Ole Miss just mutilated Georgia State, 63-7. Iowa State mutilated South Dakota, 55-7. Am I reading that right? 67-7 Texas Tech W. No, I'm not going to say this. No, I'm not going to do the meme. No, I'm not. Feel free to spam it in the comments all you want. I don't care. But, yeah, 67-7 was the final score. Texas Tech won. Good Lord, Texas Tech had their quarterback had 4 passing touchdowns. Good Lord. Tennessee and Syracuse, that's Tennessee doing Tennessee things, only defensively might want to step it up because you shouldn't be allowing 26 points to Syracuse at Neyland Stadium. No, never mind. They were in Atlanta. Never mind. Okay. Mississippi State and Southern Miss. Mississippi State, SEC school. I don't even know what to expect from Mississippi State. They're so inconsistent, at least from what I've seen. FAU and Maryland. Maryland did a lot better than Michigan State did against FAU last year in week 1. And Michigan State beat Maryland on the road last year, but I get it's 2 different years, but still. Maryland took care of business as they should have. Purdue played pretty well, surprisingly. Tulane, I actually picked this. Majority of people picked Northwestern. I don't know what made people think Northwestern was the right pick here. Tulane they're at home, and they're a much better team than Northwestern. Pitt, good Lord. 61-9 win against Duquesne. Not much to talk about there other than the fact that Eli Holstein had 215 yards passing and 4 touchdowns passing. Jeez. Navy beat VMI. I don't even know what that team is. I hardly hear him. Anyways, 52-7. About what we expected. Kent State and Merrimack. It's Kent State football. Don't expect blowout wins, even when they're playing an FCS school. Kentucky. What? Why was it 24-16 against Toledo? In Kentucky. Kentucky got some explaining to do. You might want to get your defense to step it up once you start SEC play, or else you guys are going to be in for a miserable season. Boston College and Fordham, not much to talk about there. Boston College did what they should have done, and that is blow the living daylights out of Fordham. 66-10. 45-3 win for West Virginia over Robert Morris. About what we expected. UConn still playing good football, even again, continuing where they left off last year. They had a winning season and a bowl game win too last year, which is really fun to see last year. Does that say 638 total yards? Good Lord, Connecticut. But yeah, 59-13. Louisville doing what Louisville does at home against FCS schools, and that is blowing them out. Air Force and Bucknell, not much to talk about there, other than the fact that Harris had 3 touchdowns for him. The leading rusher had 80 yards. Okay. And the leading rusher was for Bucknell. Okay. Temple and UMass. Oh wait, for a moment I thought Temple was an FCS school. No, they're an FBS school. 42-10 win for Temple. Good win for Temple. UMass isn't anything spectacular, so yeah. Northern Illinois, good Lord. You beat Notre Dame last year. I'm pretty sure on the road. And you barely beat Holy Cross. Okay. Liberty and Maine. What a lot of people thought would happen. I mean, it's week 1. You're playing a lot of non-conference. Most teams are playing non-conference opponents and weak non-conference opponents. So what a lot of people thought would happen happened. Arkansas and Alabama A&M. Arkansas. That's a lot of points for Arkansas from what I saw last year from Arkansas. Arkansas last year was not very impressive to me. I can't remember what their record was, but even if it was good, they weren't impressive to me. Memphis and Chattanooga. Memphis doing what they should have. Iowa actually scored more than 17 points, which is shocking. Even though they played an FCS school, it's still shocking to see them score more than 17. But they held their opponent to 7, which is about normal. Virginia and Coastal Carolina, that was just bloodbath for Virginia. Coastal Carolina, rest in peace. Weber State, rest in peace as well. 45-10, James Madison. Good Lord. I mean, where did they get all their points from? Defense? I mean, look, one touchdown passing, and like one passing touchdown and no rushing touchdowns. Where did those points come from? Or did your kicker do all that? At least no rushing touchdowns for leading receiver. Or leading rusher. Charleston Southern and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt playing really well like they did last year. Vanderbilt was actually a very slept on team last year. I think. I mean, for crying out loud, they beat Alabama last year. Number 1 ranked Alabama last year, which was crazy. And they had a pretty good year last year in the SEC. So good to see them playing well. Middle Tennessee, how are you losing to the FCS teams? Jesus. That's FCS Austin Peay's first FBS win, or first win against an FBS school since 1987. Western Kentucky doing Western Kentucky things again against North Alabama. Even their ESPN even has no game notes for that. That's how bad the game was. Arkansas State beating Southeast Missouri State by almost 20. 3 touchdowns for Arkansas State's quarterback. Nice. South Alabama beating Morgan State 38-21. 2 touchdowns rushing for their running back and 2 passing touchdowns for their quarterback. Nice. Troy beating Nichols. Didn't see anything to I'm sorry, I'm skipping over this. Excuse me? 73? Jesus! Okay. Welcome to the FBS, Missouri State. Jeez. Good Lord. Louisiana Tech and Southeast Louisiana, 24-0, Louisiana Tech. Utah State, yeah. BYU is dropping 69 points and shutting out Portland State. The Mormons are putting up 69 points. That's awesome. Mormon country out there. Oh, wait, wrong way. It's Cougar season in BYU. Rice, what on earth? That game is awful. That's not Will Howard, is it? Walker Howard. No, Will Howard was just drafted. What am I talking about? All right, anyways, next game. Texas State and Eastern Michigan. Is anybody shocked at that? North Texas and Lamar. Anybody shocked at that one? Probably not. Tulsa and Abilene Christian. Not much to talk about there because I didn't get to see half these games. New Mexico State. Okay. I mean, you passed for 227 yards, but you only scored 19. Fresno State redeemed themselves after that embarrassment against Kansas, 42-14. How many games are left? Idaho lost to Washington State by 3. Good Lord. With 3 seconds left, Washington State won. Washington State's going to have a rough year if that's how they're playing against FCS teams at home. Cal beat Oregon State pretty handedly. That's what we all thought would happen with Stanford and Hawaii. Only Arizona just dominates. Okay. How many touchdowns did you score defensively? But nonetheless, you scored 40 points. Doesn't matter how you did it. Utah blew the brakes off of UCLA. Nico Yamaleva that was rough. Washington beat Colorado State 38-21, so good performance for Washington. Now we move into the Friday games. I think there are only 2 or 3. Yeah, there are only 2. So, this is the game I started to call. We'll get into that in a moment. This game was insane. I mean, I'm not kidding. Virginia Tech had 8 points at halftime, and 2 of those points were from a safety. That's all they scored in the first quarter. Which is pretty crazy. At one point, the score was 7-5. South Carolina. But South Carolina got it done 24-11. They shut down Virginia Tech's offense. And then the final game that has been played this week, and this is being recorded well before the North Carolina games, but the last game that has been played and finished, Miami Notre Dame. I honestly thought Notre Dame was going to win, but nope. Carson Beck shines in his Miami debut as the Hurricanes take down the reigning runner-ups. I don't know if that's even remotely grammatically correct. They take down last year's runner-ups. They take down the runner-up from last year's national championship, 27-24. Notre Dame and freshman quarterback CJ Carr, he played pretty well. And before the game, Marcus Freeman, he did say that I can't remember word for word, but he said, go out there and go to CJ Carr, go and play your best. Your best is good is all we need from you. You don't need to win us the game. We just need you to be you and play your best. You don't need to win us the game. That is what Marcus Freeman said when he was being interviewed before the game. And he played really well. His stat line's really well. Miami is not a easy team to play against for your first ever college start. So props to him for having 221 yards and 2 passing touchdowns. That's really good. And no, he's not related to Derek Carr or what's his brother's name? I don't know his brother's name. Why am I blanking on that? Doesn't matter. But no, they're not related. David Carr, that's what it is. No, CJ Carr's not related to them, even though they have the same last name. But yeah, that's it for week 1 of the 2025 college football season. All right, so that's gonna do it for this video. If you guys enjoyed and want to see and want me to try and do a video like this every week for college football and the NFL, only maybe just do the top 25 matchups or just the biggest like games that happen, like biggest upsets at all, like for college football, and then every week for the NFL. Let me know in the comments and by leaving a like on this video and subscribing if you like this kind of content. There will be more videos similar to this coming out. I guarantee that. Just probably not every week though. I'll try though. But with that said, hope you guys have a safe, wonderful, and fantastic rest of your day. Stay positive. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next video, stream, or short that I do. I'll catch you guys then. Sportable Nation out. Peace.